I was going to talk about the ridiculousness of virtual reality this week. However, everyone is talking about Apple's encryption debate with the FBI. And what happens in this debate could change at any time, and I want this channel to stay relevant, so I need to address it. At first, even though I'm an Apple sheep, I disagreed with Apple. Whoa! Yeah, it happens. I can do that. My thinking was, hey, if you want something kept away from the government, don't put it on your phone or the internet. If you want something personal kept away from them, write it down on paper, keep it to yourself. Or you want to have discussions that the government doesn't spy on, have them in person. But then after listening to a lot of statements made by Tim Cook and Apple in general, I didn't exactly flip to the other side, but I started understanding why this debate is so hard to settle down on. Tim Cook in his statement basically said this: if the FBI had a way to hack into every single iPhone they wanted, they could pretty heavily track and record lots of things we do on a daily basis. This isn't just texts and emails. We're talking about where you are in your town, in your house, how active you are. You have an Apple Watch, they could know your heart rate for some reason. Tim Cook even said they could activate the camera and microphone of your phone without you knowing about it. Now, on the other hand, we all know that this technology could be used to stop potential terrorist attacks. That's good, we want that. However, now at what cost? Obviously, they don't have the time or resources to track and look at every single person, which means you have to be doing something for them to notice you and start looking at what you're doing. So if they had this power, you'd have to be careful about any dark humor you make about the president or Congress, or if you're sarcastic with people about killing someone, or you hate someone so much I want to kill them. That triggers a keyword that they now acknowledge, and they have to watch you, meaning they can activate the microphone and listen to what you're doing throughout the day, or activate the camera and watch to make sure you're not doing anything illegal, which is creepy for a lot of us. However, many say, I don't have anything to hide. I'm not going to kill anyone, so let them search. Maybe you don't have much technology. Maybe you're not a smartphone user or a tablet user, and then you're not worried about the government hacking into any of your stuff and finding it. But you still want to feel safe, so you're like, FBI, please search everyone if you can save lives that way. Now, it's easy to get political here, so I don't want to get too in-depth in politics, but I think everyone out there can understand that a substantial amount of people don't want a company, organization, or government to have that amount of power, even if it's being used for good. It's really easy for that to be misused is the issue. So even if this works and the FBI prevents thousands of attacks by terrorists with this technology and they only use it for good, it's still possible that this weapon is accessible by hackers or invaders who find out how to use that software that can hack into iPhones. One company, one organization, one government, potentially one person could have that power if it's narrowed down into one weapon. And that weapon is dangerous and can really easily trample across all of our freedom. So what's the cost of ensuring our safety? That's why this debate is so hard to narrow down. It's not as easy as iOS versus Android. It's iOS. Come on. Everybody knows that. It's simple. This debate is not simple. Everyone wants to ensure that our privacy is not violated, but then again, we definitely want to take measures to make sure no one gets killed from terrorist attacks. This is basically impossible to take a stance on. I know I haven't. The country is too. They're pretty much split down the middle. And I don't want to pick a side because obviously I would get tons of hate from all of you guys. Though I actually feel like there's a couple of compromises worth looking into. I have two main compromises. I know they're not gonna do it and no one's probably gonna see this anyway, but no one's mentioning it, so I'm going to. Compromise number one. So this is software we're referring to, right? The FBI needs coding that Apple writes that can break into their encryption software. So can't Apple find a way to break the encryption on this version of iOS that the terrorist phone is, but then not have that same encryption that the FBI knows how to hack in iOS 10, which is coming out in the summer? So now iOS 8 or 9 or whatever they have, that's hackable. Okay, those users can be hacked into by the government. But iOS users install to the latest iOS very quickly. They have some of the fastest upgraders in the world. So if they make iOS 10 and it has different encryption that the FBI doesn't know how to hack into, that would be a great reason for more iOS users to download it. They say, hey, you get your privacy back when you update. Tons of people would update then, right? And then the FBI got what they needed and they can't get into iOS 10. That moves the problem off till later, yes, but it's a short-term fix that could prevent terrorist attacks in the very near future. Compromise number two. What if Apple stepped in as taking the investigating position? That way the FBI doesn't know how to hack the phone, but they still get the information they wanted from the phone. I'm guessing the encrypted data that the FBI is looking for is texts, emails, maybe some locations that the phone was recently had. So what if Apple did it, hacked into it, pulled all those files out, printed them out, handed them over to the FBI so they had all those texts and emails, but they still don't know how to get into the phone. They just got the data from that phone and no one else. So I'm very split on this debate. I haven't decided what's the best thing to do, but I think it's fascinating. And I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. Politely, please. We're all talking about safety and security, so don't get mad at each other. Now, I am an Apple sheep, and I want everyone to know if you use an Android phone, it doesn't come encrypted by default. The FBI can already hack into Android phones, so buy an iPhone. If you had to take one lesson from this message, it's buy an iPhone. This is your Apple sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.